Well, hello everyone. Guess why we're late? Hey, not John. We're blaming Josh because me and John both forgot that Josh said that he wasn't going to be here tonight. So we're waiting for Josh to go on. So we're going to blame Josh for us being late tonight. What do you guys think of that?
I like it.
We just, I think that's just if somebody's missing, it's their fault. Like if the show's bad, it's their fault. If we're late, it's their fault. We'll just start doing that. I think that would make.
I think I get blamed no matter what. So
yeah, we usually do blame you for just about anything that goes wrong. But guys, welcome in Thursday night. I can't believe another Thursday. There's one of these every week. And I feel like each one gets better and better. I feel like we've really honed our craft. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm going to say hello to some amazing people that were in here super early. I'm going to probably miss a couple names, and then I'm going to ignore the chat for 2 seconds, and then we're going to come back around because we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Yeah. So David, thank you for commenting first. Guys, if you want your name read first, you're going to have to comment first on this channel. It's just the way that we work. Sheila, hello. Chase Chaser, how are you doing, buddy? Dr. John Pops, Anna, always happy to see you. My son is horrible at Spanish. He's getting a D currently. Sorry, Luca, for outing you here. If he could learn half of what Anna puts in the chat, he would be an amazing student. Pipsqueak, hello. Arthur, hello. Hi, Shy Guy, hello. Pop Funko UK, thank you for showing me. I feel like you're here every single week. Appreciate you tuning in because I know the time change and all that stuff. Jeremy, hello. Who else is here? Doug, how are you doing, Doug? Sir Bass, hope your evening is well. Randy, hello. Riley, hello. Monster Pete, hello. Wayne, hello. Cross Saved, Les, Velvet, Jonathan. Guys, there's almost too many names to even say, right?
Riley, you got the 250 piece Freddy Funko Wolverine. Dude,
who got that?
Riley.
So
that makes sense. Okay, so he reached out to us and he said that he had pulled the trigger on a big grail. So
that's
dude,
right.
That's a mega grail right there.
Riley, didn't you say something last week? Because I feel like you did something amazing last week too. Maybe you got something else amazing. And Magma, 14 months. You know what? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Guys, my beautiful wife stopped in too. Awesome. We actually, for channel members, I've got a new John, what are those things called? The little things?
Little emojis?
Is that what they are? Like
they're little channel stickers. Yeah, that people.
Yeah, those. We're gonna have a new one coming out. You guys are gonna have to be a channel member to see what I believe it'll probably be tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll be this weekend. But something fun, something if you guys have been paying attention to, you guys probably will already guess it, but it'll be something fun coming out. So, John, how has your week been?
Our week has been insane. We have so much work to do. I feel like the more work we do, it just multiplies. We just wake up
right?
and yeah, it's been insane, but it's been good. I truly love being busy. I hate being bored. I mean, it's impossible to be bored when you have a collecting channel, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, there's just always something to talk about. There's always someone to talk to. We're always trying to get to know people better, and plus there's people that seems like there's a huge influx of new collectors again, which is amazing.
Jen, you know what? I was going to actually say that for our first topic tonight when we get to that, because there's a couple, I think there's like two topics that can be spun maybe a little bit negative. And then I feel like I got some slides for some of the stuff that was released over the last couple of days here. And I also think maybe we're going to start with a little bit of a downer. We're going to finish strong because there was a lot of amazing stuff too. But what you just said, I'm going to piggyback off of that. We've had multiple people reach out to us that said that they just started collecting within like the last week or two.
Yeah.
And I think that's, it's fun to see that because I feel like, when I first started collecting in 2019, and honestly, I didn't really get, like when we started the channel, I started an Instagram and the channel the same day. Channel and Instagram the same day. I never did Instagram. I never did social media really. I had Facebook before that I probably posted once in 2014. And legit, if you go back there, my profile pic is still probably from 2014. With that being said, I feel like it's gotten very negative over the last couple of years, and maybe it's always been that way, but I feel like, I'd like to try to keep it on the positive side. I watched your video this week, John, on the Motivation Monday. Kind of bummed me out. But with that being said, I didn't disagree with everything, and that's what I love about it. We're going to discuss the first thing that we'll discuss. I'm going to bring up a quick slide. People probably already know what we're going to talk about, and I think this is good because this IP is very near.
Well, before we get into this really
Sure.
quick, since you mentioned it, so my Motivation Monday this week, I know it was probably a little bit of a downer. But I think
I thought you brought it back around though.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I needed to say it just because there's been a couple people harassing Joanna and I. Two of them, who knows, three of them. I don't know how many people it is. It could be one person with multiple accounts. We deal with certain stuff. Everyone's dealt with certain stuff. So I felt like it was what I was feeling over the last week, 2 weeks. And it's kind of been like a reoccurring theme. I feel like because the nature, like you were just talking about the positivity and like the friendly nature of us as people and our channel. I think sometimes it almost invites those people who come in for the wrong reason.
People want to bring you down. Honestly, I mean, unfortunately, I think that's social media. When people see people like having too good of a time or maybe having too much fun enjoying a collecting hobby, they need to tear you down a little bit.
Exactly. And I think that our community is like 99% amazing. Like they're rooting for us. We're all in this together. We're enjoying the hobby. But unfortunately, every now and then you run into that 1% of those people that try to ruin it. So, and I got some really deep, heartfelt messages in response to that. Some other people were saying they felt similar, that they had been going through certain things recently.
I almost messaged you. I was gonna be like, am I the second person you were talking about? I hope I'm like one of the people that you.
No. You're one of the greatest people.
Good. Okay, good.
No, you're awesome. But yeah, I know it was deep. I think it's good too to talk about because it's easy sometimes to just be like, oh, everything is happy, everything is great. But unfortunately, that's not how life is. Sometimes things aren't great. So it's good to talk about it, vent a little bit, and realize that we all go through things, and we can address it, acknowledge it, deal with it if we need to, and then move on. So.
Yeah, John, I mean, honestly, I kind of like that you started with this direction because I think it's a good, like people see, like me and Bray on the camera, we're here. You guys assume that and I mean, generally it is what you're seeing. I mean, 90% of the time, I'm going to say 90, I'm not even going to say 99% of the time. 90% of the time, we actually interact that way. Listen, we have fights like everybody else. We have hard days. Just because you see a certain thing, I think that sometimes people get caught up in that. And like I said, when people see somebody and they think that things are going too well, they need to cut them down. And we'll get to the Star Wars stuff. And I didn't think that you did this. I'm going to say something, but I don't think that you're guilty of this per se. But I think that people were overly, I don't want to say critical because you're allowed to be critical.
I know exactly.
There's a constructive way to do it.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. And that is purposely why I didn't drop everything on Friday and do a reaction video. Like I wanted to wait because I saw, it's kind of funny. Like it's like Joanna and I had this conversation over the weekend, and I don't know if anybody else feels like this. If there's people out there who have been Star Wars fans for a long time, that's awesome. Like you're a longtime fan. And now I think because of the Mandalorian and some of these other characters that have recently popped up, there's a wave of new fans. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to collecting, I find it very strange that sometimes you'll see the most critical people of a certain IP have like none of that in their collection. And it's just like, I saw all these videos on all these channels over the weekend because I was curious what other people were saying and everything. And I was like, looking at this one channel, I'm like, this person doesn't have a single Star Wars pop, at least in their background. I'm not saying you have to have a particular pop in the background of what you collect, but just seemed like there was a lot of people who were almost jumping on the hype train to bash the pops, just to bash the pops.
Exactly. And that's where, because I'll be honest, like this week, is, and this is full disclosure, or honestly, I'm going to use both. This is the most I've ever had anybody reach out to me over this last week to find out about NFTs and how to purchase them. That tells you something. And I'm not saying, listen, in general, I'm going to give my thoughts because I'll be honest. I wrote a whole thing that I was going to post I was going to make a post on Instagram. And, and I'm glad I wrote it out. See, when I have these like deep thoughts, I write it all out first.
Nothing wrong with that.
I looked at it. I'm like, you know what? What good is it going to do me there are people that are excited about this. I'm not going to totally jump on what they're thinking, even though for me, the deluxe part of it is really what kind of killed it for me too. Like that is the part that, and again, this is another thing. Like a lot of people are questioning, why did they go back to the original trilogy? For me, I made a post on it might have been on Diz Tractor. I don't remember what it was, but I said original Funko, blink twice if they made you do this. And I'll tell you why. I think Funko knows, and we're going to get to some of this stuff tonight, but they've started to release some really great Star Wars stuff. I think that they 100%, they're not morons. They want to make money. But at the same time, I don't think Disney, like the way that they've controlled the Star Wars thing, I think that they say, this is what we're going to produce. We want the original characters. I think Funko, this was their attempt to make something unique. Like, what could they have done with those original characters to give us something that was going to be, exciting, especially to people like us. Now, other people are excited about it that maybe haven't collected Funko a long time or just really love Star Wars. But, sentiment wise, I felt the same way as you. They could have, like, I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I knew this is what we were going to get. We're going to get the original characters, Han, C-3PO. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I kind of expected
it was almost a guarantee that we were.
It was almost 100% guaranteed, but like deluxe was like, no, like we were ready. I was getting 10 packs. We were going to do a big video. And when I seen all deluxe, I'm like, it's not even that I don't want the deluxe. I don't even know what I would do with the deluxe. I can't show them anywhere. They're not going to fit into anything. And I feel like Funko just tried to do something different with these characters.
But it wasn't that different though. I mean, they're way too similar. And yeah, maybe they're at a point where they have exhausted these 6 specific characters so much, but it just
like
I actually got a few messages from people, and some people couldn't believe my thoughts, and they were just like, well, you're a diehard Star Wars fan, you have to buy these. Like, what do you mean? It's like series 1 of the Star Wars NFTs. And I disagree with that. I think because you love a fandom so much, because you're so attached to these characters and their stories and everything, if you just buy everything that a company puts out, then they don't get a true a true meaning of like what you actually, or like what was it called, like
a sense on what
like a sense on what you actually like, and if they're actually putting out good products. And I think when you do vote with your wallet and you say, no, I don't think these are good enough for my collection, because at the end of the day, it's your collection. Like, your collection is supposed to be your most prized items, that when people come over to your home, or if you have them at your office, that like you show people like, no, this is my collection of these characters that I love and that I'm ride or die for. And I'm ride or die for these characters, but I'm not ride or die for these pops. Even if they were 4-inch, I just think Funko could have done, and I see Linda actually just quoted me. Thank you, Linda. I just think Funko could have done so much better if they were handcuffed by Disney and Lucasfilm. Shame on them, because I personally hope a lot of packs get burnt. I hope the drop doesn't go well, because I want to see them do better. Like, I think this was a huge letdown.
I feel where you're coming from. I mean, I'll be honest, like some of the responses I got, like people weren't overly thrilled, but I feel like this is going to go good for some collectors that maybe don't have as much Star Wars stuff as us. Like, it's kind of cool to have a limited like, what's a good example? Like, you have some of the, like, you're a different kind of collector. Let's be honest. I mean, even over
Oh,
sorry, I removed you. I didn't mean to
I was
remove
like,
you.
whoa.
I'm like, you know what? I've had enough of what John had to say about this. Let me talk. No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're a different kind of collector. Even for me, quite honestly, you have some of the older pieces that I know. I'm not going to say I'll never obtain them, but it probably won't happen. Maybe it will. You never know. But there are people out there that may never be able to have the stuff that like some of the stuff that I have, I don't think it's like over the moon, like great. There's other people that would look at it and would kill for like 1/10 of that. So if they have an opportunity for $30 to pull a, 1900 piece or a 2500 piece, pop, I think that it's good for that. With that being said, I'm trying to give some of these silver linings. I'm trying to keep it on the positive side because really,
Well, if you want to go from a limited edition perspective, then 100% go for it, because there's
yeah,
a lot of people that actually I don't even know at this point, because I feel like more packs are going to be purchased than we realize, even though that we have a sense.
John.
Because
With that being,
look at Project Fred. We were all kind of like, wow, this is really expensive. Not really feeling
John, you
the
hear me being
love.
positive, right? Do you want me to give you my prediction on how many packs are burned?
How many? How many do you
Okay,
think?
because this is a drop exclusive.
Yeah.
Because listen, I know for me for a fact, and there's going to be other people that are just like me, that the deluxe is really a killer, and it cut what I'm going to purchase easily in half, maybe by more than half. Quite honestly, I don't think with 65,000 packs, I don't think they were going to sell out before. I didn't. I still think they would have burned at least 30-40% of the packs. I think that this will probably be a 50% burn. With that being said, it's okay in the sense that now the Grail goes from a 1980 piece
And, that, and,
Grail
that-
to
and that's what I
maybe
was going to point out. Like, if somebody really is going after it because of the limited piece aspect, then yeah, you could be pulling something that's less than 1,000 pieces. My thing is to counter your point. I feel like I always have these points, then you're good at like countering them with a different
I
perspective. I'll raise you a perspective
raise
here
me. I love the raising.
to the new collectors out there, or the collectors that maybe just aren't willing to, or maybe they don't have the money in their budget to go out and grab, these very expensive Star Wars pops. I'm just confused as to why you would go after some of these specific NFTs. Like, take the Han Solo, for example. There's a $12, $15 Han Solo fully in carbonite that
Okay.
I think looks way better, way more movie accurate than this one where he's
Do you want to hear? Do you want me to
deluxe
blow
and
your
half
mind and
in
just come
carbonite.
over the top with what I'm
Go
about to
for
tell
it.
you right now?
Go for it.
People pay double and triple for the exact same pop with a different sticker, John. With just a different sticker. These are at least a limited piece. Like, you know what I'm saying? With again, like I'm saying this, I'm not just saying, hey, Funko does everything right. This is okay. Like, I'm not saying that because I was thoroughly disappointed in what these are, because like I do have a lot of like any 4-inch pop that I could have got limited piece Star Wars in my collection, I would have been down with, and I would have gone all in. It would have still, because I like the thrill of the chase. I mean, you see how many like mystery boxes all the time,
Yeah, of course.
and the packs are fun. I actually like the NFT cards. I know that sounds crazy because like 10-year-old me, I've said it before, 10-year-old me would slap me in the face for saying I like digital cards better than like physical cards at this point in my life because I don't want to collect like masses of cards
Yeah, just gonna
anymore.
sit in binders and
Yeah, and I actually look at the NFTs okay, I'm a weirdo. I apologize for that. But I think it's cool that this gives everybody that was not around maybe back in the day that could have picked up, like the old 501st. There's some super rare stuff that maybe you couldn't get for, a halfway decent price back in the day for, $10 or $30, depending on what pack you're going to buy. You have a chance at getting a limited piece Star Wars. And listen, I know that me and you don't love these, and they're not super unique, but I don't know what they would have done. I mean, Vader's cool because he's got his hand chopped off. At
yeah,
least
and that's something that I didn't even realize until they released the closer up picture
yeah,
a day or
like
two later. Like, I'll give them props for
Emperor
that.
was yeah, Emperor. You pointed out in your video, it looks like the exact same mold on a
Same exact
stand.
one. Yeah.
I feel like it's a bummer, and I don't want to talk too much again because there's just no point. I don't want to Just
well, I will
completely.
say this though. I think that another reason, if anybody's going after them, I mean, and I would love to hear your perspective on this, Vince, as well. I don't think they're going to be worth very much down the road. I think you're going to be looking at like $30-$40 each. Like 3,000 pieces is not that limited. And let's say like over 50% of the packs get burned. So these 3,000 piece pops now become 1,500 piece pops, which in the world of limited pieces, 1,500 is still not that, or it's still not very limited, you know, like it's attainable for most people, unless it's like something from like 10 years ago. Everything that's like 1,500 pieces within the last 3 to 4 years is like $500 or less, you know, for the most part. So it's attainable for most collectors. I just don't see these holding long-term value. Not to say that like, you know, you should go after these because of the potential value when it comes to NFTs. I'm saying it because a lot of people don't want to deal with the packs. And if you don't want to deal with the packs, I don't think you have to stress about it, because when they do come out, I think they might be a little bit high like normal when the NFTs do hit the aftermarket. But I just think that, I don't know, I don't see them being worth more than $50 each mint.
I mean,
which then again, like, why would you justify buying packs? You know, that's why I bring it up. I'm a collector for you know, I've changed a little bit as a collector. I used to be like very dead set on like specific limited pieces and getting con exclusives and stuff, and now I'm still that way, but I also like the molds matter, the characters matter. Like there's other things that matter besides that limited piece count and like whatever sticker is on it or whatever it was exclusive to. So there's other things that come into play.
I think in our Funko, and that's kind of what I'm saying, like in our collecting journey, I think things changed a little bit. Like even for me, like I used to buy every single Star Wars thing that ever came out. Like I like the old stuff because I'm more of a set collector than just like a, you know, I do have my own, and we've got a lot of different stuff, but like I like going after stuff that's harder to obtain as well. Like that's the part of collecting. But with that being said, like I still pick up some of the newer stuff. And again, like I don't love these. I'm not going to bash on them because I know, and we've said it before, like there's other stuff that, you know, we might show some stuff tonight that like I might personally like and other people could care less about. So, you know, are they going to hold a big value? You know, the only thing that I see people getting excited about is the Grail. So, I mean, and I again, another great job with the video. I think it is very similar to something that we already have. That being said, I see people being a little bit excited by that.
Yeah, and I don't want to take away, and I said it in the video for a reason. I never want to take away anyone's excitement for anything just because I'm particularly not excited or I think Funko could have done better. No matter what Funko puts out, no matter what any company puts out, you will always see some sort of a divide, whether it's 50-50 or 90-10 or like 80-20, whatever it is. But also, I wanted to point out too, just as another quick counterpoint to what you said, I thought that comment was brilliant, by the way, where you said original Funko blink twice if Disney made you do this. If Disney did mandate what Funko and Drop are supposed to put out, it actually makes zero sense because the original trilogy has nothing to do with the current content being put out. Right now we have Bad Batch. Maybe Bad Batch just doesn't hit enough people's radar. Like maybe people just don't care. Well, actually, I will say this, for it is a matter of fact, there's a lot of Star Wars fans who will not watch the animated shows because they think it's for children.
You're 100% right with that. Like I've seen that comment a lot.
Yeah, they won't watch animated shows. Like, so you've already ruled out a good portion of people that are, I would say, 18 and up, you know, because they think it's for kids when it's actually meant for adults, young adults, you know, people who love the franchise. The other thing, though, you have the Acolyte coming out. Okay, that's probably not enough of, you know, there's no recognizable characters in that show from what it looks like. It's Old Republic. No one really knows about that. Okay, you're not going to do that. You're not going to push that. I think that they could have done some stuff with the Mandalorian. Like they could have pushed some of their projects that are currently in the works. They were never going to do anything Andor-wise.
I think honestly, like I just don't think that however they're licensing, you know, and I don't know who their licensing manager is with Funko, and You know, like I heard a story. Actually, I follow Sully. Used to work for Funko. He actually said a nice, not a nice story. He gave a story that they had a panel back at Star Wars Celebration, and I don't remember which one, so I'm not going to quote which one, but they had Ben Butcher and Reese O'Brien. I think Reese O'Brien was the go-between between Star Wars, and basically he was the one that had to push things. And he had all these great ideas for Star Wars Celebration Pops that year. That was the year that they put out all the blue chrome. The blue chrome was not their idea whatsoever. And they basically kind of went back and forth. They said that they had a panel that they kind of talked back and forth. And like they pushed it hard on Star Wars side that we want all these blue chrome for whatever reason they wanted it. So, and again, I'm not absolving Funko for everything. And that's really not my job because, you know, it's doesn't matter. Like we're getting what we're getting. And I don't love it either. So I'm not absolving them. I just don't think that sometimes, and I think Chase said it as well. We're going to show the pop that they showed today. I almost felt like it was like the pop that they showed today. They put an NFT box on that and slapped that in there. They would have sold crazy amounts.
And that's why I'm so confused.
There's no way Funko would do it. Like they know that.
It just kind of caps off my point. Like the original trilogy is not relevant anymore. The Skywalker saga, for the most part, is over. Like they did 9 movies focusing on the Skywalker saga. You had Luke Skywalker also appear in the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, like he's going, like the Skywalkers are always going to be a critical part of Star Wars, but there's so many other characters and other stories. And just with the movement on, you know, focusing on the clones and the love for the Clone Wars and the prequels and everything, it's relevant right now. So I don't understand why Disney wouldn't do that. Like we saw a live action Captain Rex in Ahsoka last year. Who ever thought that was going to happen? Like, did you see
what they did with Boba Fett? Do you even have to ask any more questions after you saw what they did with Boba Fett? They do not understand. Like, I don't want to turn this into a Star Wars thing because we'll move on a little bit. I know some of the people that don't care about Star Wars is probably already moving on. But did you see what they did with Boba Fett? They don't know what they're doing with a lot of their stuff. I think we could say that Funko's out of touch with some of, even though with what they released, like this last week, this was like the best week of drops. I feel like, and I can't even remember the last week that I can remember this many, like really good drops, really good figures, some cool exclusives. Like it was a really good week. That we're going to move on from this topic. We're going to move on to one more Star Wars thing before we move past that. And
there's a bunch of other people who jumped in the chat. So thank you guys for jumping in. I know we haven't answered a lot of stuff. The other thing that I think we have to acknowledge, because it is another, I think it was the biggest complaint out of the Star Wars NFT wave, was that people were saying they're really upset that there was no Freddy. And as a hardcore Freddy collector, I don't know if there's anybody out there I know there's some other big Freddy collectors out there, but I think I'm the biggest Freddy collector with a social media platform and everything. I actually don't think that every drop should have a Freddy. I think that there should actually be fewer Freddys to make it more special. And I think because there's now this expectation that a Freddy is going to come with every NFT wave, now when there isn't a Freddy in the NFT wave, people get really upset. And I don't want to see them overdo it on Freddy. So that's why whenever there is an NFT wave without a Freddy, I actually think it's a good thing. Like, give it a break.
With that being said, guys, I would bet just about anything. I'm not going to make any big proclamations just in case something else comes out, but almost 1000% positive this was something that was dictated by Disney. They didn't have one for the Disney set. They're not going to have one for the Star Wars set. Funko, if anything, especially if we go by the last couple of years, they know Freddy's. When they release Freddy's, it's like printing money because they dropped Freddy after Freddy after Freddy last summer, and we bought every single one of them in boxes. You know what I mean? They know that that's going to sell. They 1000% would have put a Freddy in there. They didn't leave the Freddy out because they thought, no, let's do the C-3PO with his eyes closed. I think that this is better than a Freddy. There's no way that they thought that. So
if they did a Freddy as Captain Rex, it would break the Funko internet.
Oh my gosh, it would break my mind if
people would lose their minds.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to sell more packs and be successful, tune into this stream. We'll give you, man, I would love to have a panel of some of, and I feel like with that being said, I feel like they have listened to us over the last couple of years, because especially this last year, we got the phase 1 trooper. We got a 332nd. I didn't even think we'd ever see a 332nd trooper.
We got
ever.
two.
We got two. And I love both of them. And they're almost identical, and I love them both.
You know what's crazy? The wave of Ahsoka commons with like Shin Hati and Balin Skull.
Amazing.
And that wave is better than the NFTs in my opinion. But I see some great comments that I want to highlight really quick.
Let's get to it, because man, we've been blabbing. All right.
We've been blabbing. Downtown Funko Pop brings up a really good point. He said it's really hard to get a limited piece Freddy living outside the United States. It's the reason I got into NFTs. That is a great point. It is very hard. It's very hard to get Funko Pops outside of the United States, period. So I completely understand and sympathize with international collectors. You have to pay a premium plus shipping and customs and all the extra fees and everything to get limited pieces, especially outside of the United States to wherever you live. So I can respect that. I can get behind that. I just don't want to see. I feel like there was a point last year where a lot of people were feeling the Freddy burnout. Yeah. And I personally was getting a little bit tired of seeing Freddy's head just put on pops like that already. The molds were already there. I want to see the Freddy Pops actually have their own individual mold like they do with the NFT ones. I think it's good to mix it up. That's all.
Yeah, I'd rather see a couple less Freddys than those straight head swap ones like Chewbacca, and we could start going down the line of, because there were some amazing Freddys last year, which I can't believe how far they've come down in value. The one that keeps on popping into my head was the spooky space kook.
Yeah,
that was it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like less than $50, but on the other hand, it's like, that's amazing. People, you want an amazing Freddy, go pick that up.
Yeah, it's good in a way, because then
it's good in a way.
You can kind of climb like the Freddy ladder. Like, let's say you just want to get into Freddys, and you can start a collection and have plenty to chase if you just want to go after Freddys, and you could start getting into it, and like you can compare and like see what a 2,000 piece Freddy from 2023 costs versus a 2,500 piece Freddy from 2017. Like, you can have really, a really good time, in my opinion, like chasing things down. And there's actually some, it's really wild now, like with the way they've done the piece counts. Like, it used to be like, if something was 200 pieces from this year, you can expect it to be around this price. And if something was like 5,000 pieces, it should be around this price. Now, I think the market the market doesn't really care about limited pieces to a point. Like, when you get to a certain number, I would say if you're looking at 1,500 and below, that's when the piece count is going to factor in. But it's really all about the character now.
It's 100. Yeah, I agree 100%.
And it's about the mold. Have they used that mold? Is it a repeat? How many versions of that character exist? Is that show, movie, or IP that character is connected to? Is it trending? Is it not trending? Like, are people burned out on Marvel? It's all kinds of stuff. So 40 BDN or Forbidden Gaming Collectibles says, what do you think about region NFT drops? Asia, US, Europe, etc. Like, if there was an NFT drop that was exclusive to each region,
I think it would probably go horrible. Let me tell you why.
I mean, I guess it would be like the Pop Asia exclusives they kind of already do, but it would be NFT based. I feel like that could be a little bit of a mess.
It would be a little bit of a mess, but I mean, on top of that, I mean, if you guys start really digging in the numbers, I'm not going to go into nerd stuff right now. We're going to move on, like I said about 15 times. But if you actually see how many accounts are actually, but you can see how many accounts participate on each drop. You're talking like 1,000 accounts unless I'm reading something wrong, and you guys can go look at this yourselves. But you could see how many accounts are holding NFTs all the time. There's not as many as you would think. There's not as many accounts as you would think. It's actually a lot smaller amount of people than you would ever expect. And I always say this, like, when you're talking 5,000 pieces of something, it's so much bigger and harder to sell 5,000 pieces of something than what we really give that credit for. Some of the stuff is available to everybody, and you know, obviously you got a much bigger pool that, you know, of people that are it's available to. But when you start talking like NFTs and, you know, some of this stuff that's a little bit like out of mainstream, like if you guys are watching a you know, a live that's talking about this stuff, you guys are already way further in your collecting journey than we're probably 90% of the rest of the collectors are kind of at. So it's kind of eye-opening when you dig into some of that stuff. And speaking of piece count, so this was the next thing. They re-released the 18-inch. I wanted to get your opinion on this. You don't own any 18-inch, correct?
No, absolutely not. I'm
You didn't
married.
get the Vader, you didn't get Boba, you didn't get the Iron Man. I have
No,
Iron Man.
I would like to stay married.
I almost pulled the trigger on this Boba originally.
This is
I got to think about it now.
This is cool if they had done this the first time.
That's
because I think this is kind of disrespectful to everybody who
Yes.
bought the Boba Fett initially. I saw a lot of people saying they were upset over that. If they want to do this, that's fine. But I also don't think they have a good pulse on where the community is right now in terms of space and what people are going after. And I don't think a lot of people are lining up to pick up an 18-inch Boba. So I don't know what the market is there. It's very cool. I like that they did the chase for this. I think
I love that.
I think this would have been a perfect drop if it had been the first time around. Boba
Jen,
Fett
if they would have done, what if they would have done this? Maybe 18-inch maybe is not a great, let's just say an 18-inch, whatever, 300 piece prototype Boba Fett on its own without all the other pops. Forget the chase. Like they just released it. How much would you pay for something like this? Would you still go retail $100 if it's a 300 piece item like this?
Yeah, because I know
because you probably wouldn't want to get it anyway. Is kind of your thoughts on it?
Okay, let's say I had the room for it. Like I had a cool studio somewhere with a little bit of extra space, and I said, all right, I want to put this in the corner. I would still pay $100 because it's the same mold. It's just repainted, there's nothing really like what makes it. Obviously, like this is the chase. I feel like you kind of lose out on some of the features that a regular chase pop has, like with the chase sticker on the front. Chase sodas have the pog. You're going to display this out of box. It doesn't even have a window. So I feel like you don't get the same chase thrill out of owning it that you would with some of the other chases. But if it was just a standalone white prototype Boba, yeah, I would still go $100.
So you wouldn't pay a premium for this regardless, if even because you think it's more the size. Like if this is a 4-inch 300 piece, are you paying?
Oh yeah, if it's it's 100% has to do with the size. If they released this as like a Star Wars celebration one year, if they hadn't made the I think the original one was like Walgreens. If they hadn't made the original one, they said, "Hey, we're coming out with a 300 piece 4-inch prototype Boba Fett as a Star Wars celebration exclusive," I would throw like $500 down.
Okay,
easy, yeah, easy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be. I don't know how the Bobas sold before. I'm sure that they eventually went on sale. And I'm thinking that even with that 300 piece, it would have been cool if they did this from the get-go. I was on the fence of I came
think
really
if they
close
want to sell,
there.
if they want to keep going down this rabbit hole and really test this market, like they should do this with other new 18-inch characters.
And they're probably going to have to, it's probably going to have to be repaints, because I could see 300 piece. I could see a lot of people weighing, especially is this box going to be, is it going to be just like this? Like that box is going to look, so you're going to know like immediately.
You're going to know immediately. And I feel like where most of these pops end up going is they end up being like comic book display pieces. like how many stores have you seen with either like an 18-inch Batman or like a 36-inch Freddy? Like I feel like that's where these pieces go. They end up being like eye candy, but they're not really in people's homes. Maybe they are, but I don't know. I just feel like even 6-inch pops are not as desired as they were. Like I think people, because of the way the economy has shifted, and same with like even smaller in the collector economy, I think if people have $100, they'd rather get 6 pops, 6 regular size pops than one of these.
You know, I gave this some thought, and you know what I think it ends up being? I think people that are willing to spend over retail, people that'll spend, you know, 40, 50, $60 on a pop, they're people similar to us, maybe not exactly like us, but people that have maybe a little bit of a bigger collection. And those are the people that can't get another, you know, ride or another, you know, moment or something like that. They can't afford the room to that. Where, you know, there might be some newer collectors that want to pick some of these up or not willing to pay the price because yeah, I mean they're impossible to move. I mean, you see PPG prices because maybe one sells every once in a while type of thing, and that's why I think some of these prices stay a little bit elevated. It's not necessarily that it's artificial. I just don't think there's you might sell one, but you might not get another sale recorded for, you know, a month from now.
Yeah, and how many of these are going to be sold like on a platform where you're shipping it? Like, because if I'm a regular collector, I'm like, I don't want to ship this. Like, if I put this on eBay, it's going to be like $120 plus like another $40 to ship. No, I'm just going to go down to my local toy shop or mom and pop comic book shop and be like, hey, what are you going to give me for this? And that's a sale that's not recorded by PPG.
Well, and that's kind of, you know, especially because it's a GameStop thing. I'm assuming it's an online only. I mean, hopefully they're not shipping these to the store. Because if
they don't even put sodas now in some of the GameStops near us, so I doubt they're getting a shipment of 18-inch bobas
for sure. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, how many of these will actually make it in anybody's hands if that's what ends up happening? Because, you know, if I worked at a GameStop and I'm buying that the minute that comes in, you know, if you get something like that. So hopefully it's an online only
little employee discount on there. Heck yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how these will, I don't know how these will do. I mean, if they went on sale for $40, maybe I'd get an 18-inch.
Yeah. You know, I saw somebody in the chat say they are really looking forward to some more sodas getting released with limited piece counts. And I am all for that. Absolutely.
Yeah. The smaller, the better.
They were going small. We were banging out biddies left and right. So now we're kind of trending in the wrong direction. I think smaller is what people want right now. And I think that it's good. I think it's good to allow people to be able to have more stuff. I mean, it's the same thing with other companies are having the same issues. Like, you're not seeing the larger items sell as frequently as they once did.
No, look at Lego. Lego's going to a lot of the dioramas that are kind of, you know,
Lego is
a little more contained.
Struggling hard. UCS sets are sitting on the shelves collecting dust. All these larger sets that they thought would sell, Hogwarts Castle or the Hogwarts Express train, Black Panther bust did not do well. Hulkbuster did not do well. Like, there's so many large sets that they came out with that tanked. So, smaller is better.
Yeah. I mean, because again, I think the people that are willing to spend that kind of money, you're getting to a point, especially how hard everybody went through like the pandemic and built their collections up. I think you're having a hard time just finding that room. Like, people are really starting to kind of wind things down to where they need to get to. And there's always that, you know, you're always going to have that turnover. There's always going to be the turnover of new collectors coming in. And, you know, I think we're in kind of that cycle right now.
Yeah, we're at the beginning of like the exciting cycle in the year because there's new collectors coming in. They're going to experience, you know, all the cons this year for the first time, all the big drops, the Fun Days box. You know, it's a very exciting time right now. I feel like we're just riding up the roller coaster, and then it kind of goes down a little bit once we hit New York Comic Con. The winter is usually a little bit quiet, and then the cycle just starts back up again.
Yes. Now let's talk about some of these releases. I've got a few slides in here. Want to get some I want to interact with the chat a little bit more too, because you
have a slide on the soda sale or just the general sale that's going on right now.
I do not have a slide. That's Josh is usually the one that
Josh is usually on it.
He usually gets stuff like that.
Thanks to my man, the Pop Analyst. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram, then you should delete your Instagram.
You're going to see some of his slides in here right now.
Because he is the man to follow when it comes to Funko news. Because of him, I actually saw that Funko was doing their big sale right now. And the Peanuts cooler is $75 right now. If you need the Peanuts sodas, now is the time to do it. Jeremy just got a Peanuts cooler for $75, so he's doing it right.
I'm waiting for 50.
Some of those chases alone are going for $70 to $80. So if you are tight and you just want to grab it, you can sell the chase, keep the commons in the bag. You just got yourself a free set of 5 commons and a
bag. Did they have it where, because I seen the one, it was spend 65, get $15 off. Do you still get free shipping with that?
You still get free shipping. It is a
son of
super
a gun.
good deal.
$50 in free shipping for $65 worth of stuff.
Yep.
That is actually,
it's crazy.
Darn it. I'm going to have to get on that after. I don't have a slide, but guys, go check that out.
You're waiting for it to be 30. It is never going to be 30, my man.
Probably not 30, but can we hope for 50?
50? Honestly,
I think 50% off.
I think you guys are asking.
See, Mason's agreeing. Make it 50 and we got a deal. 50. I'll take 2 tonight.
No, you're asking for 50 for 6 sealed sodas, a chase, and a bag. Come on.
Am I being greedy?
That's you know what? Greedy. That's a little greedy. I think
you just said that out loud. Now I feel horrible that I'm waiting for 50.
Because you're basically asking for sodas at $8 each. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Sodas at $8 each.
I love that.
Funko's got to make. They got to make a couple pennies here.
God, when did they become?
They're already losing money on $75.
Well, I'm gonna hold out for 60 then.
I think 75
seems good.
I think 75 is the lowest you'll see it. Those sodas are beautiful. The commons are great. The chases are even cooler.
I hope it sells out, and then it says, serves me right for being greedy.
I hope it does. I hope it does.
You know what I mean? Let's all hope it sells out.
Randy, come on, Randy. Let's not go there. The warehouse sale. Like, the warehouse sale is all a scam, by the way. All those people bring stuff, they take pictures.
Was that not hilarious? We said it last week. I don't remember if we said it during the show or if we said it after. Yeah. We're like, where's the drama? How is there no drama from this?
The drama wasn't
the next day.
It was created the next day. All of a sudden you see the same people. How do the same people wearing the same clothes from the previous warehouse sale get the same things? Tell me that. How does the same guy?
You don't have shopping attire.
How does the same guy in a gray sweatshirt and jeans get the exact same 500-piece Freddy Optimus Prime 2 warehouse sales in a row? No, they're recycling pictures just to
it worked. A lot of people got.
Oh yeah, a lot of people got upset, and that's why I'm kind of upset at some of these news outlets where people, they follow these people because these people are doing anything for likes and followers, which that's fine. That's social media. If you want to do anything for likes and followers, we ask people to subscribe. We put out videos because
I barely do that, to be honest.
Yeah, you need to get better at that.
I know,
but
I'm awful.
But shame on these news outlets that put out pictures that are not current just to get people all riled up. That is really disrespectful and a disservice to the community. So.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
This is Lucky Gray sweatshirt. It must be his Lucky Gray sweatshirt.
Well, I got my Lucky Gray sweatshirt on because, guys, look at this amazing stuff. I'm going. Listen, I put these in order from, and I even like these, but I'm putting in from my not least favorite, but the ones I like to the ones I love. So we're gonna see. You're gonna get a. Since I'm running the show at this point, which is insane, I should not be allowed to do any of that. We're going to kind of take a look at these. These are Percy Jackson. Did you watch this show on, was it Netflix?
I did not, but I know Anna did, and I know she's very excited.
Anna, did you love it with me? Because me and Bree watched this whole thing by ourselves. We thought the kids would be in it. They're not. But Percy Jackson, what an amazing show. Guys, go watch this whole show. I loved it. Okay.
It
sounds like I'm the only one, but that's all right.
I saw the original movie back in the day, and I liked that.
No, that was good. I thought that the way, from what I was told, I did not read the books. So I'm not going to be able to, if anybody else wants to comment, I heard that this stuck closer to the books. Did not follow the books, I was told, but they were closer to the books than the movies were. I enjoyed it. I'm hoping that they have a season 2 because It looks like they're
The
setting that
movies
up.
are
And
horrible, a disgrace to the books. Well, the books are usually better.
yeah, the movies were. Yeah, I heard the same thing. What about the show? The show is justice to the book. See, I am 1000% trusting everything that Anna is saying because she knows Percy Jackson. I know that she's commented on it before. So I thought these were, and you know what I liked about it? There's 3. You want to do a exclusive
Nice,
Minotaur
nice
or
little
what?
set. Yeah.
Yeah, something else, the Ares or something like that. Give us a couple exclusives and call it a day. Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
my mouse is dead. So we're going to move to this, guys. This
People have been
listen,
asking for Jimmy Neutron for what feels like decades.
I
mean,
feel like a lot of people, and they're giving you Jimmy Neutron, but Ren and Stimpy, we don't have 1,000 Ren and Stimpies.
no, Ren and Stimpy's are great.
Other than the OGs, that might be, we got the OGs, and I think they both had chases. I don't know if we had any other Ren and Stimpies.
Was there a 2-pack? I feel like there was a 2-pack, maybe, but there's not many.
No, there's very few. And on top of that, I think that they knocked these both out of the park.
Wild Thornberries look amazing too.
Yeah, I mean, they released some great stuff. I thought that these were all great.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, Jimmy Neutron would make a great soda, but we definitely needed the pop.
Then they released the Beauty and the Beast, or Sleeping Beauty, not Beauty and the Beast.
Kind of feel like repeats, like Maleficent. I don't know what else you could do with her mold. Maleficent as the dragon. I know they've made
pretty much the exact same. You know what I equate this to? And a set that I think is way undervalued and way underappreciated right now. And I think a couple years from now, it will start to get the love that it deserves. Pinocchio. They released the whole Pinocchio line. Maybe it was 2 years ago now. That Pinocchio set is amazing. Now, we had a Jiminy Cricket before. You got the updated one, which I think is obviously, everything that's newer is more detailed and just a little bit more, even though I love the OG stuff. But there are a couple repeats in there, but you got a Geppetto, you got a Figaro in that set. You got some really cool molds. And I think, like I said, I think that they're undervalued. I think that's going to be a set that comes around. What I love about this, we got the Prince in there.
I love the Prince, with the shield and everything.
Like Maleficent and the dragon, 100% valid. Like we got a lot. Like they redid when they redid Chernobog about whatever it was. Around that 2 years ago as well when they released the Mickey's Sorceress Apprentice. I forgot what it's called. Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Now it's coming to my head. I still prefer the OG. You got the dragon. I think it looks good. Maleficent looks good, but yeah, we've had that. But I like that you're getting those new characters, a little more niche type of characters to fill out your set if you're into the Sleeping Beauty. And I'm okay that they do it like this, where it's just a set. You know what I mean? Not that the dragon or Maleficent are expensive. If you're new to collecting, you can still get those. But I like that you got a nice set that if you wanted to just get the set of something, you have it like this,
Yeah, exactly. And they only did the one Fairy Godmother. They did that cool 3-pack a couple years ago for Emerald City Comic-Con. So maybe they'll do the other 2 as singles as well. Because I think that 3-pack actually has some good value now.
I believe that you are correct. And Jeb, man, thank you for 14 months. Happy anniversary to us.
Go. Thank you, Sam. And yeah, that I agree with Jeremy. Owl as Prince is the best. That is a super unique pop.
Yeah, that almost like. Why do I feel we're gonna get like the flocked version? Is gonna be, you know what I mean? I might hold off on this.
I hope not. Not everything needs to be flocked. Like either flock it in the first place or don't flock it at all.
See, that's where that's what I kind of wish that they would do, because it's not like your commons cost, $10 and the other ones are 25. You're spending an extra $2 or $3. I'd rather just get something really cool right out the gate. Like we'll probably get a glow in the dark shield sword from Prince Philip, probably a flocked owl at some point.
That's something I really hope Funko moves away from doing. Like just give the pop the variants that it deserves. Like don't give us the common, the flock, the chase, the glow. Like give us the pop with the version that you think is best. Right. And just make that one, because I hate seeing is like
Too many main lines is what they
what's
call
a
it.
good
Too many
example of
commons.
like something that came out, they flocked it? Oh,
Bambi,
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage.
I feel like Courage, everybody wants the flocked one. The flocked one has decent value. I feel like the common, does it even go for $5? It's just because people just don't, they want the flocked one.
Right.
Like, why would they, if you go to work and you work hard and you make your money, you want to buy the flocked one. Like,
I think they prey on the people that, like, if you want the set, like, you're going to get this set, and it might be next year, or it could be 6 months after the fact, and they start to, Rudolph was that way. They released the Rudolph line of pops, and then Amazon did the awesome flocked one, and it's like Toucan was the same way. Toucan has a common, this last Toucan, and then they did an amazing flocked Toucan, and it's like,
yeah, Anna, great point. Blue's Clues and Clifford, they did that as well. Yeah, I think it's just unnecessary, and I think that's where Funko is being a little bit greedy, when in reality, if they only put up one version, let's say like Clifford, they said, here's Clifford, he's flocked, it's the only way you can get Clifford in your collection. Wouldn't they sell the same amount of pops compared to people selling, like, I don't know, like 30,000 of the regular and 70,000 of the flocked? I feel like if you just put out the flocked, wouldn't all 100,000 people who wanted it just buy the flocked?
I'm sure they're able to, they can give it to more retailers this way. And then the exclusives, whoever's got the exclusive has got to get more of those. I'm sure they make more money doing it this way. I mean, I agree with you. It's always going to be a pet peeve, and I don't think it'll ever go away.
Bree brings up a good point. She says the common makes the flocked one more desirable. But isn't the flocked one desirable in the first place because it's more accurate? Like, I mean, it's a good point.
Yeah, you don't want. Wow, very astute comment right there by my wife. Yeah, it does kind of make it. Does make me want it more. Wow, Funko knows what they're doing. I'll probably buy the common, and then like you do want to have the flocked one or the glow in the dark one, especially when the glow in dark's good. If the glow in the dark's, like
I don't know, it just seems weird because if I want something, I want it. Like I wanted, you brought it up earlier, Chewbacca Freddy. Why was Chewbacca Freddy not flocked? And they didn't even give us a regular flocked version. Like, I have it in my collection, but honestly, I look at it all the time and it bothers me that it's missing. Not flocked.
He's
it just it bothers the crap out of me. And if this year they come out with a flocked Chewbacca for San Diego Comic-Con, well, guess what? The first pop going out the door is it's going to be the regular version.
Yeah, and like Wolfman's a great example. We got the regular Wolfman and got the flocked. Nobody. I guess that's a bad example because I'll be honest, I'd take the non-flocked.
Well, those are both limited pieces, so you can yeah.
And then
I don't know.
There's a big difference. Okay, yeah, that was bad.
Maybe breeze on to something about the marketing. I just think if you put out something that's more accurate to the character, with it being flocked, or if the character has an accessory or a weapon or something that glows from its show or its movie or its comic, just make it that way.
Yeah, and, in saying this, I mean, actually, now that we're saying this too, like for me, I would like to have this set. But I would probably not get it right away because I don't feel like these commons are going to be like Pinocchio. Again, great example. I remember when Pinocchio came out, I bought them all like immediately because I didn't want them to like disappear. They don't disappear like they used to disappear. You know what I'm saying? Where you can't find them at all for like a reasonable price.
That's another good point though, because it's kind of like anti-marketing.
That's my point. That's exactly what I was going to say.
This wave. Because
I'm going to hold off and see what happens. I'm going to see how things shake out.
A lot of Funko collectors who have been in the game for a little while, they're going to be like, no. They're going to come out with a flocked version.
You're not going to get me again.
And a glow. So that kind of discouraged, like Funko, you just lost sales because people are like, no, I'm not giving you my money yet because I want to see what else you come out with. And now when they do come out with the flocked version of their chase or the glow, whatever, they're not going to buy the common in the first place. They're going to buy that version. So they're not getting people's money twice.
Well, that's kind of where we're at, because like if we we display sets and we'll switch them out during the year, but we don't have enough room to show like every exclusive. So what we do is we show all the exclusives, and some of the commons, like we've got rid of some of the commons at some point just because it's like we're never showing these anymore because like they won't sit out there. there are exceptions. We do have some lines that we would keep everything. Moana is a great example. Moana doesn't have a lot of the repeat ones where you're getting flocked and non-flocked. Like there's only one, maybe Tafiti is the only one that I'm thinking on the top of my head that they did multiples of. Everything else is unique. I'd like them to maybe get back to that point.
And that's my point. Like make the characters unique so that way when they do come out with this wave and let's say Maleficent as the dragon is glow, people are like, nope, I'm buying that one right now because if I don't, it's going to potentially sell out, not immediately, but like 6 months from now, or maybe retailers, they run out of stock. And then it's going to go up in value over the aftermarket. Then there's a sense of urgency for people to buy the items right away instead of what I think a lot of people are doing now, which in a way is okay. Like, you know, I love to encourage people to budget and be smart with their money and everything and maybe wait, not get FOMO and everything. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like there's a lot of people waiting. Like, look at that. Now everybody's getting greedy. Now people want soda coolers to be $50. Like everybody just wants stuff to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Hey, I'm not buying into the FOMO. Okay, I'm gonna wait 6 months before.
No, this is like anti-FOMO. This is just like I'm gonna wait 2 years and see what happens.
It's being greedy and ridiculous. I agree with you. I'm a horrible person. I am 100% on board with that. Now, what I'm also on board with are some of these.
Some of these.
Not all. Okay, not you know, all. I like these a lot, but the ones on the left, other than the one that's kneeling, that one is unique. X23, I got the exact same one. Pretty sure it was a Target exclusive, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong with the Target exclusive, but I 100% already have that X23. The one on the left on the top looks almost identical to the 80th year one. Old Man Logan, the only difference between the Old Man Logan that I already have, he's got a hat on, and I like the one that's kneeling. What I do love is I love the Funko Shop exclusive one with the half mask ripped off. I think that's super cool. I like the 2-pack, but I'll be honest, the Sabretooth looks pretty identical to the OG X-Men Sabretooth, and like the 2-pack I like. So if I had to rate these right now, I'm going the disheveled Wolverine. I'm 100% picking up. 2-pack I'll probably pass on just because I feel like I kind of have that already. And then out of the other 4, maybe the one on that he's kneeling. Maybe, but the rest I have. Now, this goes into that realm again, though. Like, are we happy that they're bringing these back around for somebody that wants to pick something up for retail? I don't think that X23 is very expensive anyway. Or is it just, you know, I get it. I
was kind of worried about this because we're getting a double whammy with Wolverine because we're getting the X-Men 97 show on Disney Plus, and we're getting the live action Wolverine with Deadpool. I think this is just going to be an overload year of Wolverine, which is fine. I mean, he's a great character and everything.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right with that. I think we're going to see a lot of Wolverines, and I can't believe I'm going to even say we're going to see a lot more Deadpools, which already
we're going to see
crazy,
buckets and buckets and buckets of Deadpools. But believe it or not, like Deadpool is, for whatever reason, man, there's a lot of Deadpool pops, and there's a lot of them with like decent value, like in the $40 to $50 range. I was looking them up on PPG. People must be holding on to their Deadpool pops and making like cool displays and stuff, because even though there's so many out there, I mean, there's demand.
John, you know, that's actually a really good point. Now that you're saying this, like we're opening, you know, I mean, really a year, like we're opening well over 100 plus. Yeah, we're opening probably north of 150 mystery boxes. We don't pull that many Deadpools,
right? And don't you think crazy? Well, I'll do you one better. We're pulling in collection after collection after collection after collection, and there's just certain pops we're just not seeing. Stitches, we don't get in Stitches as much as you think we should. We don't get in Deadpools as much as you think we should. You know, it's wild.
Yeah, and it is, you know, it is something that they keep pumping them out, but people are picking them up and
pumping them out because they're selling. People want
even Wolverine. I mean, you know, Wolverine's a good example. There are a lot of Wolverine pops. Like I said, because Wolverine is by far and away my favorite X-Men character. Like I have probably more than I should of Wolverine, but Yeah, wow. We don't pull that many Wolverines. Like, I don't remember the last time that we've pulled, and people could be hanging on to them right now too, knowing that Deadpool's coming out. So we might see a little bit of an influx of sales or trying to sell, around the movie release time. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people. So like Brandon loves the 2-pack. Hunter's loving the 2-pack. I think that the 2-pack I think that is a cool, I think that's a cool 2-pack to put together. I like Sabretooth, like the
I like the
version from
jumping Wolverine. I like that.
yeah. And I think it's cool that like the Sabretooth that came out with the first iteration of the X-Men movies looked super weird. And I never liked like Sabretooth. I hated in the original movies. When Lieb Schreiber did Sabretooth, I thought it was cool, but like you didn't get enough of the like comic book styles from him. So I think that this is fun. I like the older one probably just better just because it's alone. But I think that these were good in general.
Mojo has a great comment that I think we should highlight here. He says,
Let's do that.
I bought all the ad icon grails in the last 2 months for half the price they were last year. Great time to finish up collections right now. Market will spike back up and we will all be happy. It's perfect time to do it. Like when like we were just talking about the cycle.
This is the cycle where we're down for sure.
Things dip around the holidays. People sell because they want Christmas money or they want to buy other gifts for other things, or they have to catch up on bills or, pay whatever. So they dip into their collections and stuff. So that's awesome. I'm super excited for you that you were able to pick up those ad icons pieces, buy low. They say buy low, sell high. I like buy low and keep them high.
Keep it.
Like, keep it when it's high, enjoy it when it's high.
Now,
I'm actually excited for a bunch.
I think these are, listen,
some of these are super cool.
I think that these molds, even though like the Funko Shop exclusive one, it's the black symbiote suit. It has nothing to do with the first one. What I love about it is it's a gamerverse box. It's a completely different look. Like I'm okay when, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's actually the only one, except for the other Miles on here, that I'm like, don't we already have a couple similar versions?
And I mean, we got another Venom, but I think even like I can't believe I'm saying this, but like that Venom kind of looks unique to me.
It definitely looks different.
It's
I'm a
different.
sucker for the upgraded Spider-Man suit. I love the white spider logo on the red and blue.
Oh, I think that one is killer.
I love that one so much. But isn't that Miles below it? Isn't that the same exact Miles we got?
Part of that, like
when
they did like the 4 or 5 altogether. Yeah, it looks super duper super.
And I saw what's interesting about these is like the game is incredibly popular, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't collect Funko Pops, but play these games that will get these pops. So these are not only appealing to Funko collectors, they're also appealing to Marvel fans, and they're also appealing to gamers.
You know what's crazy though, John? The Gamerverse pops never have held value. None of them.
Right. They haven't held a lot of
value. But have any of them been as popular as Spider-Man 2? I think that's probably
no. But the other thing is I saw a lot of people upset because apparently in the game there's like dozens and dozens of, and I haven't played it. I probably will never play it because I don't have time for video games. But there's like dozens of different Spidey suits. And a lot of people were complaining, saying like, where are all those suits? And I agree. Like,
give us them all, huh?
The obscure. I don't know if we need all of them, but like, give us some obscure suits and some cool molds. And like Spider-Man will always sell. It's just like Deadpool and Stitch. Like everyone loves Spider-Man.
And they might put these out, and then we start. What I like about these, the 3 exclusives that they're showing right now, they're not flocked like we said or metallic or anything. They're all the unique molds. Like this looks like a super cool, fun set. Like if you love the Spider-Man video game, and you want to collect a set of these, like this is not super unmanageable. And I think that they knocked all of these out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean,
so Jeremy has a great point here. He says, wonder what the black suit will do to the Walgreens one. It might actually cause it to dip a little bit. I don't think the Walgreens one will skyrocket in value. until we see Tom Holland in the symbiote suit in either Spider-Man 4 or Secret Wars. I think when that happens, then you see the older pops spike in value like crazy.
What about the Funko Shop one? You think it'll go higher? Because I feel like that's like crazy high right now.
That one,
is that going to go even higher?
Probably, because that one's, well, they're both glow. The old one glows. The old one, there's two versions.
There's two versions. You got the
the glow. The Funko Shop one will probably go up too. I mean, there's no reason why not.
I kept the old ones. I sold one of mine like for maybe $50, and I gave the other one away.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're going for. Like the older one you can get, and
no, I'm talking the Funko Shop one. I had two of those, and I gave one of them away, and
you're
sold one of them for next to nothing.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
But I didn't care. I liked the older one better. I know that's dumb because it was worth more, because it was even worth more at the time. But like, I liked. Sometimes it's just the whole. I don't know. Sometimes it's just the whole whatever that goes along with it.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you don't like, because did you give it away to a friend or another collector or something? Yeah. So like sometimes you just take value out of it, and you just want someone to have something because it's cool, you enjoy it, you got one for your collection, you're not trying to capitalize monetary value or anything.
Yeah, and this here's a perfect example. I'll pick up this Funko Shop one because I don't have like a newer version of it. Works out perfect for me.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, like, and I can, man, I like, the more I look at the did you say it's the upgraded suit? Because I'm not a aficionado on all the suits.
I know that suit specifically. Yeah, the upgraded suit, just because I love it. That's my favorite Spidey suit.
I don't know if it's the colors of that. Like, that is one of my favorite Spider-Man pops that I can remember them releasing in the last 3 years. That
and
just keeps sticking in my mind. That like, that looks like such an amazing pop.
Yeah, and it's got the cool Iron Spider like arms. It's really awesome.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna get Venom. Venom, I've got just about every Venom pop there is.
I know I bashed the regular Miles underneath the upgraded suit there, but the GameStop exclusive where his hair is coming out of the top of his mask,
he's got the different shoes on.
I love that. Yeah, I love that one. That one I need. And I also need the Entertainment Earth one as well.
Yeah, but like I said, the gamerverse pops in general usually do very horrible on. I think that like the Iron Man keeps on sticking into my brain too. There was an Iron Man that they released that I really liked. I think there's been some good ones. I think that this is a whole set is going to be killer.
And this is good. And it's good timing too, because the game is very popular right now.
If they would have, that's the other thing.
Yeah, timing is everything. If they would have released these like a year from now, it would definitely not hit the way they're hitting right now.
Right. John.
I know.
Can you believe this happened?
Finally.
How long have we been saying, like, we've been doing this for what, 3 years now? Is that what we said? I lose track all the time.
It's been 3 years. Yeah.
It's been, we've done a lot of these shows before. How long have we been asking for a 501st? We got a GameStop 501st. Are we going to get another 501st? I hope. I don't even care.
I hope we get like a 501st specialist, 501st sniper. Give us all of them.
They're finally doing some of this stuff. Now, where is it? So this is a phase 2, because looking at this box, what set is this going to fall under? I don't even know.
It looks Mandalorian kind of, because like at least look, it has the mythosaur in the back.
You know what else? Yeah, well, what I was just going to say, number 694. I did not see anybody point this out. We're over 694. Like, aren't we into the 1,000 already for Star Wars?
Yes.
Was it something?
Yeah, 100%.
We got to be, right?
It must be. Is it? Oh my God. Is it 694 in the Mandalorian line?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like that, I haven't heard anybody point that out, but it's just, I'm seeing the number on the box, and I feel like we got to be, guys, let us know if you have your Star Wars pops right next to you. Are we into the thousands when it comes to, so this is from, like, did they maybe have this plan for, well, why would it be part of the Mandalorian line? There was no 501st in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean,
did they just crowbar this into the Mandalorian because they had the license for it, and this was their only way that they were going to be able to get us this?
I mean, the Mandalorian takes place.
Yeah, see, Mojo's saying
the Clone Wars. So
yeah, so Ahsoka's in the 1200. That's what I thought. We have to be over 1,000. So 694. Have they done this where they release something like that just kind of falls back into? something that old. It's kind of weird, right?
I don't know.
It's a mystery to me. I'm not understanding why in which line it would be. Yeah, that's
maybe they just produced it. Honestly, it could be something as dumb as they had extra of these boxes lying around and they said, you know what, we're just going to use this style box. And if it's not true to the lore and if it's not correct in the timeline, yeah. Yeah, but the flashback Order 66 scene was in Ahsoka, and I guess they're trying to say Ahsoka and Mando are in the same universe, basically, when it comes to the pops, but the Ahsoka pops were completely different. So all right, so they're keeping it. Are they just numbering all the new Star Wars pops in the order that they come out with the show's timeline? That seems messy.
Well, they would have to hold numbers back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like this is, listen, this ain't it's not like the end of the world or anything. It's kind of, depending on how you're displaying stuff and that kind of thing. Some people put the numerical order and then that's kind of curious was Captain Enoch 690? So
no, there wouldn't be. The only way it could be spoiled for next season is if this is a flashback or because the clones are done. Like by the time of the Mandalorian and Ahsoka, like Clone Wars is over. So
the first one, bye.
Yeah, whatever clones are roaming around, they are on the run. They are in hiding. They're gonna, defect and join the rebellion. I mean, there's just no Mando's long after. So.
Yeah, because once you get the stormtroopers, the
clones have been phased out.
Or Gonzo, even though Captain Rex did show up but he definitely did not look. He did not have his 501st gear on.
No,
at any point.
Yeah, maybe they just make stuff up as they go along.
I'm sure that they do that. I'm sure that they there are pops that drives me nuts when they change the box art. I don't really care about this that much. I'm trying to think right now, what's the 332nd? What was that? Where was that coming in at? Did they have this style box? I can't remember now. Interesting.
I gotta look it up.
Well, I'm super excited for this 501st.
Well, what's pretty cool too is we technically got, even though it doesn't say, we recently got the phase 1 clone trooper with the blue markings, which technically is 501st. It's not just the regular white clone. So now we pretty much have a phase 1 and a phase 2 501st plus Captain Rex, because we got the newer Captain Rex as well. So it's a good time to be a Star Wars collector, so you don't have to shell out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars like you had to back in the day.
I mean, that was this week, man. What a good week compared to the last 2 weeks. We did not get many drops and really not a lot of exciting.
We'll see. And the other thing too, so I just looked up the 332nd Trooper. So the 332nd Trooper is in the Ahsoka style box with the blue and the teal. Here, I'll bring it up really quick.
And what number is it?
It is 681.
Okay, so that's pretty close.
What was the other one? It was 694.
94.
So they just must be going in order of the Disney Plus shows. Maybe they just have a Disney Plus category, but it doesn't say Disney Plus. It's just in the order of how they come out. The Funko
Is there no other Star Wars 694 though?
Oh no, there has to be. That's what I'm saying. This is
you a think
different.
So? So they are just making it up as they go.
But I think this is a different subset line. Even though it's under the Star Wars umbrella, because there has to be another. There's no way there isn't a Star Wars. What was it? 694 or 684?
694.
694. There has to be.
Wouldn't we love to know how they number this up? Yeah, Ezra would have been under the Rebel line, but yeah, that's a good point. That would have, but typically, I know this is a rabbit hole that maybe not a lot of people care about, but it's for me it's kind of interesting to see how they kind of put this in there, because like if you got your Rebels pops, like it's normal to have a set like I'll go back to Ragnarok. Ragnarok starts at whatever, a couple like 300 or 400, and then it picks back up around 800 or something like that. So and they have the same style box. Like Ezra probably is numbered higher, is what Ezra is 686. Wow.
690. Yeah, 696.
696. Okay. Which is pretty. It's interesting.
Yeah, this is wild.
We don't have any Star Wars completionists. There's probably not many completionists left for the Star Wars line. I'd love to talk to somebody that has every Star Wars pop.
How would you would need a whole house? There's so many.
Yeah.
Of them. There's thousands of them.
I
don't know. I can't find another Star Wars 694. So maybe
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that maybe they have some placeholder things, and are some of those placeholder pops like things that they were trying to do for a long time, and they just had that 501st kind of reserved for that when just something finally changed in the licensing?
No, maybe they
just do this.
Maybe they just left some holes. They didn't know what they were going to make, but they were like, "Well, Star Wars is going to be popular for a long time."
Yeah, you're probably
we're just going to make something. So
that makes sense.
Still smiling over getting the 442nd Trooper. There you go, Les.
Les, nice. And guess where Les got it from?
Where'd you get it? Oh, that's amazing.
Les, did you? Les, I didn't make that up, did I? I'm pretty sure that you got it in the last whatnot. It was actually our top hit.
Congratulations, Les. That's amazing.
I love that pop.
Tommy says, if I know very little about Star Wars, what would be the most enjoyable Star Wars to watch? Did watch Mando, but I'm a season behind.
Tommy, do you listen, you got to be honest with me. Do you are you one of those people that won't watch cartoons?
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Because if you like cartoons, and listen, not kids cartoon. You can like kids cartoons too, because I love kids cartoons, but I'm talking like serious Clone Wars and Rebels cartoons. Like if you want to watch the greatest part of the Star Wars saga, go watch Clone Wars, the animated series, and then go watch Rebels. I used to be one of those. I was a younger, older person.
Roll right into. I would do you one further. I would go Clone Wars, Bad Batch, then Rebels.
Yeah, why not? Bad Batch has been amazing. I haven't been able to finish season 2 yet, but I'm loving it almost as much as the first season.
But if you don't have 3 years worth of time to commit to watching these shows, because Clone Wars is 7 seasons, it's a long time.
Yeah, Clone Wars was a lot to get.
Rebels is 4 seasons. Bad Batch, we're in the 3rd and final season. So that's a lot of TV and content to commit to. I would say if you want something live action, that's a great route to go as far as the animated side. I have seen a lot of people recently bash Rogue One. And for me,
the best movie ever.
I actually think Rogue One is, and some people might disagree.
It's number 1 in my book.
I think it's the best live action Star Wars film because
John, did we just become best friends?
We did just become best friends.
Let's give high fives.
Other side.
Oh,
we'll have to work on that.
Okay, moment's gone.
Rogue One is beautiful in the fact that you don't have people the selling point is not just people running around in lightsabers or a bunch of troopers or all the flashiness that we love with most of Star Wars.
The grittiness,
the nitty gritty down and out ragtag team of people that are all fighting for a cause bigger than themselves. They come together, and at certain points, they almost they know they're going to die. They know they're not going to make it. They know things aren't going to go their way, but they still do it because they know it's the right thing to do. And it's because it's bigger than themselves. It leads.
Not just that. It's a unique story.
Yes.
Which ties into the original trilogy. Right. What I don't like about episode 7, 8, 9, and where they went off the rails with 7, 8, 9, is that really it's almost a regurgitation of 4, 5, and 6. Like they just
There's
changed the names and
no
made Luke a
originality.
woman. Like it really just got to a point where it was almost the same kind of story instead of it, you know, the big reveal. Like they were trying to give us what they thought we wanted.
Right.
In reality, they gave us they did what they're doing with the NFTs. Listen, everybody loves the trilogy, and let's do that. Just make them do, you know, no, like give us a really good story. And that's what they did with Rebels and Clone Wars. They gave us a super good story that it really honestly blew my mind. Like, because I remember when that show came out, and it was, and I thought it was like a kid show. I'm like, you know, I don't want to spoil my Star Wars, you know, whatever with this kid show. And man, when I watched it over the last, you know, couple years here, and then watch Rebels, like, oh my God, it's just a completely different experience. You guys, it'll blow your mind. If we haven't churned some of you guys into Star Wars people tonight, I don't know what else. I really don't know what else could do it. But yeah, Rogue One had everything in it.
Yeah, Rogue One was perfect. And it's also an all-encompassing movie, which I think is a big selling point with a lot of people who don't want to go deep down the Star Wars rabbit hole. Like you can grab your spouse and be like, hey, let's watch this. Or you can grab a friend who doesn't know anything. Like that's the beauty of Rogue One. Like you can go into it with no prior knowledge, and you can also exit the movie and say, oh my God, that was beautiful. I'm never going to watch anything Star Wars again. And you're good. Like
what you know what you're gonna say when you get to the end of that. You're gonna go, I need to watch A New Hope.
Well,
and like
right,
go
exactly.
see what's going on.
You're more than likely going to say, I want to go watch more. But not all of Star Wars is peak like that. So
no,
I'm just saying, like, if you do want to like say like, all right, I've had my fill, I'm gonna go back to Lord of the Rings or anime or whatever you like to watch. Like you can do that too. You know, it's a great all-encompassing. It's not like the trilogies where you watch the first one and you're like, all right, now I'm going to watch the second one. All right, now I'm going to watch the third one. Oh, there's a in-between show, or I'm going to watch a show. Oh, you know. But Mando is a good starting point. I recommend a lot of people start with Mando just because of the, relatively shorter episodes and little stories and side quests and missions like that. So,
yeah, Mando, but if you didn't, Mando,
you can go into it. I know what you're going to say. You can go into it without any prior knowledge. However, if you go
it's
into
so much better, right?
With the prior knowledge and more understanding of Star Wars, yes, it is.
Your head explodes. And I'll say even like with Rogue One, like I didn't know anything about Saw Gerrera. Like he just seemed like a crazy guy when I was watching Rogue One, and I thought that was so cool. But like when I started watching Clone Wars, I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like, how does everybody else know who this guy? And then I realized that like I'm watching a 15-year-old show at that point. So like, yeah, other people probably figured that out. But man, if I would have seen that at the movie, it would have been a different experience. Like I could have shown how much knowledge I had and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, definitely you could go either way. And I think starting with Mando, I think that it's a good introductory, but I think that knowing the backstory on Clone Wars and Rebels, you understand Ahsoka, you understand Sabine, you understand, that stuff a little bit more.
You understand how there were several things in the Ahsoka series that were not good.
And kind of crap.
They missed the mark.
Yeah. Well, we won't go into that. That's like next level.
That's another.
We won't nerd out that much on that.
For another day. Let's just hope season 2 is better. Yeah, same thing with Boba Fett. Let's just hope season 2 is better.
Yeah, Boba Fett was.
What's also weird, really quick, I was watching an interview where they had Ewan McGregor, and apparently there's talks that they're going to be doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi series too, which I'm not really sure.
I thought they didn't want to do that, and that's why they did the.
Well, apparently the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was one of the few that actually turned a profit. So they're
really.
If you guys didn't see, Disney is shaking up quite a few things. Ant-Man 4 has been canceled. Captain America 3 has been canceled. They're still moving forward with the Ironheart series, which I'm
glad. Wait a minute, Captain America 3?
No, what did I say? Oh, Captain Marvel. Excuse me, Captain Marvel 3.
Oh,
no, Captain America.
Aren't they like done with Captain America?
Captain America 4, apparently they finished it and they did some test shooting with an audience. and the entire audience, like all the audience and all the people that watched it, said it was terrible. So they're actually doing major reshoots for Captain America 4.
And I
So
think they're canceling like Ant-Man 4 and they're canceling Captain Marvel because they're ready. I think they see the writings on the wall.
They bombed at the box office.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. They didn't make money. Disney, at the end of the day, they're a business. They need to make money. Obi-Wan Kenobi made money. So they're looking into it and they're saying, hey, how can we bring this character back? Put him once again in the middle of the timeline and, you know, create a story worth telling. So,
you know, Obi-Wan, it's got a lot of years that went unaccounted for. You know what I mean? Like if you go from like episode 1 to episode 4,
and
there's a lot of years that went unaccounted for. Like they could be stewing stories for the next.
He ages like milk on Tatooine.
Yes, he does. Oh, yeah.
He goes from like 40 to 80 in 20 years.
Yeah, he does.
But there's a couple of gaps in the timeline like that. But yeah, they definitely need to shake things up at Marvel. I would be totally down for an Obi-Wan Kenobi series too, but I don't know how it makes sense because he's supposed to be on Tatooine for all those years. So now if you're going to take him off Tatooine again and have him running around, and I don't know how that would work. But
there is a couple, there's been a couple suspect things that they've kind of tried to pry bar. Yeah, they kind of just try to make the story work, and some of us kind of see through that. So yeah, can't always.
Yeah, actually, out of all the series, I was most curious to see where things were going to go with Boba Fett, just because of exactly what Mojo just said, because of all the characters they brought in, the Hutts, Black Chrysanthemum, Cad Bane, like all really good characters that they brought in, but the story just sucked. So
it was bad.
I really hope that now Tamara Morrison wants to come back and he wants to get redemption for his character, which I don't blame him. So I think that is something that is being pushed for, despite the Boba Fett series getting terrible reviews and not doing well. So
yeah, I think they just got to do it right, and then they would be okay. Like I feel like Dave Filoni has an understanding of the Star Wars universe. I think Jon Favreau has understanding. Let them just do what they got to do, and don't have anybody else that has bad ideas interfere. And we've gotten some good stuff. I think anytime that they've kind of got interfered with, we've gotten some not
so less. That I think you are exactly what Disney is targeting. People want more live action Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and it's not a coincidence that we saw him in Obi-Wan Kenobi in 2022, and then we saw him again in the Ahsoka show. I read apparently that whole thing wasn't even planned, but because there was such a positive reaction from seeing him in the Obi-Wan show, that they were like, all right, we need to figure out a bigger role. Like he was always going to be in the show, but like it was supposed to be like a quick flashback or like a little Force Ghost nod, like something really quick, not basically a whole episode of him, you know, training.
The flashback. I literally I'll just go back and watch just the flashback.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Like, oh my gosh.
Dave wants us to show
the live action.
Dave wants us to show the Daredevil pops. Did you have a slide of those, or we need to?
I did not, because they were blacklight, Dave. I thought the molds were good. John, if you find one,
I'll see if I can pull them
I'll pop it up here.
I'm not excited for them.
Me neither. Dave, are you excited for guys? What are you guys excited for? I didn't include everything tonight. I was showing the stuff I was excited about. Like I didn't put on in the Attack on Titan pop either. Like, are people clamoring for that? Like, is that a cool? And I should have included it because we could have still talked about it. When I don't know anything about it, like it's hard to, I guess, put that in there. But I know that Attack on Titan is very popular as well. I'd seen kind of a mixed review, I thought, on that one.
So Dave, I'm into Daredevil. I love
Daredevil.
But I think we got
a 10-inch, another 10-inch.
They gotta stop with the 10-inch.
Wow. Kind of surprised they did a 10-inch blacklight Daredevil. Like, what? Why?
I think this one in the bottom left-hand corner is the only one.
The pink one?
The pink one.
I'm with you on that one. I
think that one is the best one. I
Like I think a 10-inch Daredevil is actually really cool. Like I have a 10-inch Ant-Man. I absolutely love that thing. But why a blacklight 10-inch? Like that seems like a weird choice to me.
Yeah.
Not saying that's bad, like if you're excited about it, but just seems that wouldn't appeal to as many people. Because I actually on Entertainment Earth right now, they're clearancing out the Sentinel with the Wolverine with that chance of chase, $12 for a 10-inch plus I almost want to get it just for the little Wolverine and just throw the Sentinel out. Even though the Sentinel makes sense. And like, have you watched any of the 97 show yet?
No, not yet.
Did you watch the original?
Bits and pieces. I don't remember much.
See, John, like that was my wheelhouse. 97. I graduated from high school in 96, the year before. So 97, like, and it came out, the actual series, I believe, came out in 95, if I'm remembering correctly. I think the actual season, so I think it went for 2 seasons. I think it came out in 95 and 96, and it was supposed to continue in 97. That's why they call it 97, because this is the continuation. I'm pretty sure that's why it didn't come out in 97. I'm pretty sure it was before that. I could have made that whole thing up, but I think that I'm right. And I love, like, because we didn't have what kids have nowadays with all the superhero movies. This is before Iron Man, even before the Incredible Hulk. I remember the Incredible Hulk when that came out early 2000s. Like, oh my God, I was so fired up to see that. I mean, I remember listen, I'm old enough to remember the 1989 Batman. Like, that was the best summer of my young childhood life when that came out, because that opened up the superhero genre to me, at least movie wise. But then, the X-Men show was one of the best from like the 90s. And then you had a bunch of other good stuff after that. But I'm looking forward to that. But I do, let me get back around, because now I'm rambling right now. What I was trying to say, the Sentinels are super cool. I love them in the animated show. And actually, even in like I think it was Days of Future Past, the way they kind of did the Sentinels in there was, I liked it better with the cartoons, but that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on.
No, it's okay. What's up, Shauna? How are you? Yeah, animated Spider-Man I remember watching that on Saturday mornings. That was awesome.
Spider-Man and Friends, that one, or the animated, like, see, me and John are probably talking 2 different Spider-Mans. You're talking Spider-Man. I know which one you're talking about, because I watched that too. I was probably too old to watch that. I'm going Spider-Man and Friends with the Iceman, Spider-Man, and there was a girl on the show, and I can't remember what superhero she was. There was another one.
Black Cat, maybe?
I don't think it was. Some of my older people might remember that, but there was Spider-Man and Friends back on Saturday cartoons, like way back.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
have a great night, Lauren. Either. I just pulled up the
Firestorm.
Harry Potter wave.
Thank you, Gerald.
Firestorm.
Iceman, Spider-Man, and Firestorm. Yes, that was back in the day. Nice. Firestorm or Firestar. I couldn't remember. I loved her either way.
Some people are saying Firestorm.
Yeah, she wore a yellow costume. That's all I can remember too. I remember she wore yellow. I wasn't super familiar with Iceman at the time either, but I knew Spider-Man, and that they were his friends, so I thought they were cool.
It's good to have friends.
Yeah,
especially when they're super. I pulled up a bunch of people are excited for the Harry Potter wave.
That was the other slide that I started and I never finished. Thank you. Thank you guys for saying that. I had this saved on the phone. This was supposed to be the 10th slide, because I actually have 10 slides on here. Actually, I got 9 slides, and that was supposed to be the 9th slide. John can see my blank slide here. It was the Harry Potter wave. Because I did hear a lot of, I also heard that there was a couple of these that people were super excited for, and then there's a couple that I believe that are multiple repeats.
Yeah.
So, like, our Harry Potter people, what are you guys feeling about these? I mean, I like the molds. I loved the guy on was it Buckbeak?
Harry Potter on Buckbeak?
Is that Harry Potter?
It's Harry, yeah.
I couldn't tell from that picture.
So glad we
It's
finally got
Buckbeak,
Harry.
right?
Yeah, it's Buckbeak, yeah.
Look at me.
Look at you. These look kind of similar. I don't know. I'm not enough of a Harry Potter.
And that's kind of what it included. But I mean, if you guys are excited for these, I mean, I think that it's a pretty big wave. It's a pretty big, I mean, for a set that has this many pops in it, I feel like this is a pretty big wave of Harry Potters.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm
getting the
surprised that
NFTs.
like Harry Potter is still like super relevant in a way, because like we haven't gotten any Harry Potter movies in a while, right? Wasn't there like a rumored Hogwarts show that was supposed to come out? I don't know where they stand on that.
I think Harry Potter is more of a lifestyle at this point. Like people identify as one of the houses of whatever they're called.
Yeah, no, they're called the Four Houses. You're
The
right.
Four Houses, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they're called. That's
Yeah.
See, like I know this stuff, and I mean, I've watched almost all the movies now, but I'm not like I am with Star Wars and some of the other stuff. And I know some people are way over on these, but I think it's just like it's like the original trilogy characters that keep getting released. Like,
Yeah, you're Harry, you're Ron, you're Hermione. That's like your your Luke, Han, and Leia. That's
right, like you identify.
Yeah. Anna says it's a reboot show. Okay, reboot show. And Pipsqueak says there was a game that came out a year ago. All right. Very
Really?
nice.
I heard nothing about that, to be honest.
David says first wave of Potter Pops that he is getting. Nice. Kev says, yep, we're getting 7 to 8 seasons on HBO Max. Each movie is getting a season, which will allow them to put in a whole lot more they didn't give in the movies. Wow.
Oh, get out of here. I didn't hear anything about that either.
That is a lot to commit to. I foresee a lot of pops coming out. All right.
Yeah, I believe I did I'm pretty sure I'm a Hufflepuff. I did several of the quiz things, and I believe I'm a Hufflepuff.
You look like a Hufflepuff.
You know what? I was told that before.
By who?
They're like, you are a Hufflepuff, my friend. And I did the test, and guess what? Hufflepuff.
There you go. Very nice.
Nobody's surprised by that news, is there? Anybody surprised by that?
Hufflepuff sounds like the Canada of the houses. Like you're really nice, you're really friendly. You'll let anybody come in. You'll give them a meal. You'll hang out. Like there's no quarrel here. Like no fighting.
I'm just a straight up Hufflepuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, I look in the mirror in the morning. I'm like, "What's up, Hufflepuff?" I didn't do that before, but I might start that tomorrow. To be honest with you.
Yikes. Well, I'm glad to see that there's some people excited for these, and apparently, there's a new character that we're getting. John is Gryffindor. That's a lot of pressure, man. I'm in the same. I got to share a bunk with Harry. I don't know about that. Ravenclaw. Can I be Ravenclaw? They don't. What do they do?
Josh is Ravenclaw. Man, no Slytherins in this group, huh? I guess not.
I mean, that's always good.
I feel like that's a good thing. I mean, none of us are snakes. I mean, I know that's the Hufflepuff is the owl, right?
Is it? I'll have to ask Anna. Stan is the new character in the wave. Okay. Hey, that's good. I mean, that's what we want as collectors, right? We want something new. We want something fresh. We want something that hasn't been done before. So
I feel like my Patronus would be like a penguin. I can't fly. I can't run very fast.
You're good at
kind of waddle around. Like you kind of want to kick me sometimes, but for the most part, you're like, I'm just gonna let this thing keep on doing what he's got to do.
Slide on your belly occasionally.
Slide on my belly every once in a while. Somebody feeds me a nice fish. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So my Patronus, and I love that I even know what a Patronus is, but I do, and I think I'm saying it right. I think I'm a penguin. I'm a penguin Hufflepuff. Okay. Well, since we established that, I feel like we really did get everything accomplished here tonight. I'm looking forward to the next couple months here. I'm looking forward. We might make it out to C2E2.
Really? Oh, that's exciting.
We might make it out there on Friday. It's going to be a Friday, fly in the morning, hope that somebody can pick us up from the airport, go to the show for the day, and then come back that night because that weekend we have our first dance competition. So we're going to see what happens. And we got 2 soccer games that weekend. So it's going to be an amazing time. John, before I keep going and rambling on with what I have, what do you have coming up this week?
We're just gonna take the next couple of months off, guys.
You know,
we've been doing a lot.
Let's just start talking about how we really feel right now.
Yeah, exactly. No, we have a lot of crazy stuff as per usual. We actually have a big thing Saturday night that I would like to promote because I'm very excited about it. It is something that Joanna and I have been working on and trying to put into motion for quite a while here, and we're very excited to be doing our very first content creator live stream. Now, anybody can come watch. It's not just for the fellow Funko content creators.
I might come watch.
We want you to come watch. We're going to be promoting and giving you guys, a preview of a lot of channels that have popped up over the last several months. All Funko creators, of course. We do have a couple surprise unannounced guests that we are not revealing until you see their face or faces on the screen, which is going to be very exciting.
As soon as we shut this off.
It's going to be exciting because these 2 guests, they were hard to track down. They have very expensive fees. We had to call their agents several times and they did not get back to us right away. So it's going to be a very exciting night. And we're basically just going to be breaking down a little bit of Joanna and I's journey here into creating content, what we've done that's been successful, some stuff that hasn't been successful. And I think it's cool because everybody watching, like, you'll kind of hear, like, it's like shop talk. You'll kind of hear like the behind the scenes stuff. Like, we have changed a lot of stuff. Like, Joanna and I have reflected on how much how differently we do things now than what we did in the beginning and everything. And it's also going to be a great opportunity for us to interact live. We're going to bring on each channel for 5 to 10 minutes. They can promote themselves, tell everybody in the chat a little bit about them, why they started their channel. Are they starting their channel?
That sounds kind of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. People get to talk about their goals, their aspirations. It's going to be at 9:15 p.m. this Saturday night. So we're very excited. We've been working very hard, and I'm super excited. I think we have like 16 creators coming on, all from the Funko space, which is very exciting. So there's going to be some people you recognize, and there might be some people that you guys can subscribe to and go check out their content and go see if it's a channel that you might be able to relate to and connect with and everything. So we're excited. We will have a video on Saturday. We are a little bit behind on, I didn't get as many boxes packed. We had a great auction last night. So thank you guys once again. I did not get as many boxes packed today as I would like. And we do have a lot to do tomorrow. So I don't know if we're going to have a mystery box drop for Saturday because I want the run to be good. So we might push it to next week and just take this week off. But we want to thank everybody just for all the support. We're pushing very hard because we're trying to get this house. So we don't have a house yet in our sights, but it's
on the horizon. It's on the horizon, right on that horizon line.
Yeah, exactly. But I just want to thank everybody for the continued support. But the big thing is the live stream on Saturday night. And then we actually have a bunch of collabs coming up that we're very excited for. We're working with a bunch of companies right now, and we're trying to coordinate some big stuff for May the 4th. So we have a lot on our plate right now, but thank you guys so much for all the support. I know Josh, he's got his videos and everything. I think he will be back on Whatnot this upcoming Wednesday. So be on the lookout for game plan. Yeah, be on the lookout for an auction from him. A couple people asked throughout the chat while we were talking. He is on vacation this week, so that's why he is not with us tonight. So always good to take time off and hang out with the family.
This is only Josh's second missed show. I think number 2 in 3 years.
Yeah, it's insane. His attendance.
It is insane.
His attendance is impeccable. So he deserves a night off. Oh, nice, Gerald. You'll have your son there because he's starting his own channel. And that's exactly why we're doing it too. We want to promote, there's a lot of great people out there. Anybody can do what we do. Anybody can do what Vince can do. Like, it's not that hard.
I mean, obviously.
It takes consistency.
No, I'm being for real.
It takes a little bit of dedication and motivation.
Yes.
you have to be comfortable with talking in front of a camera. You can't really worry too much about people judging you. But I think there's a lot of people out there who can make some really good content, but they might just need that little push or that little, peck of inspiration to get them to start. So I'm hoping that this stream also inspires some more channels to be created down the road. So Vince is very unique, but anyway, enough about me. What do you got, Vince?
Jen, I don't have anything going on. With that being, no, I'm just kidding. We definitely have some stuff going. I'll be honest. That sounds. It's one of my. Listen, all sincerity. I don't say that very often. All sincerity. The interactions not always here. I'm gonna get all whatever again. Not just here every Thursday, but really interactions with new channels. And when people say, we started a channel because. Josh and John. Sometimes they say Vince. Every once in a while, they'll say that too. But I mean, honestly, that's like the biggest compliment that I think any of us could really, really say. And to hear it, it sounds super weird because there was people that John watched that we started because of that. Like even me, I watched YouTube stuff before Gabby asked me to do this, because really that was probably the driving force more than watching something that inspired me. But it's super cool to be able to share this experience with other people and go watch other people's videos. And I'm sure you guys, we're not the only ones that you watch. There's probably other people that you guys get to interact with, and I think that's super cool. So John, that sounds fun. I'm gonna seriously try to show up and be in the chat and see probably a lot of faces that I already know, because I'm weird and I do watch most of the people's content. I actually do. I don't just say that I like interacting with everybody. I actually do like interacting with everybody.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm going to stop talking about John now. We have our family live this Sunday, which I didn't even realize that we had that planned, and Bree didn't realize that we had it planned, but she already did the trivia. So if you guys have fun with us on family lives, doing the trivia and all that stuff, come out and hang out on Sunday. I know it's a lot to ask for Saturday and Sunday, but I mean, it sounds amazing Saturday. It's good. You're going to get something completely wacky and different on Sunday. So it sounds like a really fun weekend for everybody involved. So
yeah,
guys, 100%. Come out and hang out with that. We have our mystery box. Actually, on Tuesday, I think I'm not going to do a mystery box. I think we're going to do maybe some sodas or something like that. Come and find out what we're going to do, because I don't even know as of yet. So if you would like to see us on Whatnot on Tuesday, come on and say hi. We'll chat for a little while. And then we have videos next week. I'm trying to think if there was anything special that happened. We pulled some amazing stuff. Actually, we pulled it, not even value-wise as much as just some, well, value-wise too. We pulled some amazing stuff next week. So I think you guys will enjoy those videos. If you could do us one favor, we are trying to get the bookmarks up as high as possible. We're almost at 100 bookmarks, which is amazing for our charity auction, May 18th. To support the Ronald McDonald House. We're hoping to raise as much as possible. We've actually started to get some boxes in from a couple different people. Thank you guys so much for sending that stuff over. We'll probably be opening on videos over the next couple weeks here. And we really appreciate that. A couple people reached out today as well that they're going to be sending stuff. So I still got to follow up with them. But man, I feel like it was another amazing week. I had a great time talking to John. I had I was trying to, bring Josh's energy to here as well. So it was a hard life to get through for me, because I was doing
you can't replace
two people's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Looking forward to having Josh back next week.
So am I, because he's smarter than us with a lot of different things, and he remembers things a lot better than we do sometimes. But we hope you guys enjoyed this one. We enjoyed doing this one more time. We will see you guys next Thursday on,
I think it's on our channel,
John's channel. I'm pretty sure that if it's not John's, it's Josh's, because we're shooting 50.
You got a 33% chance at showing up at the right place.
That you're exactly right. Throughout the repeating 3, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you next week. Enjoy the weekend, and